You guys can.
What do you have to do for civics? Rick, what do you have to do for civics?
Jackie, you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I can go through and make sure everyone's the way they should be. Hi, Danielle.
Hi. Also, right now, do they have access to us right now?
Well, I am going through and making sure everyone is the way they should be.
Okay. Numbers look good. It's awesome.
Yeah, I just got off the phone with Chris. He's worried about going
Nice
over that 50.
background, Kyle.
You mean my dining room?
Yeah, it's the prettiest one yet.
Thank you. Except for this wall, we didn't put any pictures up yet.
That's like mine. I have nothing going on in the background.
Not easy to agree with a wife on what you want to put up.
So if your globe in there?
Mhm. Fancy.
Yeah, I'll show you that later, Danielle. It's
Okay.
better than how that looks.
All right. I have my Chromebook next to me too if we need anything.
Yeah, my iPad's ready to go. Still have kids commenting. And secretaries asking me. Awesome. Yeah, I just got the phone with Chris. He said he should be on.
Hi, Kyle.
Hello.
Can you see me?
I hear voices. That's Margaret. How are you?
Yeah, but I don't see my picture.
I don't see your picture either. I see your name.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. All right, I'm gonna keep trying. Oh, now I see all of you.
We have it set like that.
Oh, hi, Jack.
Hi.
Oh, so you don't see me?
We weren't supposed to see or hear anyone.
Oh,
But-
so I'll mute myself.
You're fine. But I also see 2 other people, so clearly all those settings did not work properly. But it's fine.
All right. Wait, how do I can't find where I was. It was easier this morning when I was the leader. I don't like following.
If you hover over your name, you should be able to see.
Oh, there it is. I'm gonna mute.
I love when she says it halfway through. Okay.
Kyle, are you able to go through and turn off the video for some people? Because I see that some people's videos are on. I'm assuming you might be able to, but I don't know.
Doesn't look like it. Somewhere, I mean, it's, no, when I click on it, I can mute and unmute them.
You always mention that in the beginning too.
Hi, Stacy Moy.
I know, I saw her too. A lot of familiar names.
Trying to figure out, get to the chat. Okay.
Do you want Jackie and I to work on moderating the chat because you're the host with everything else going on?
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if you can see that when I shared the screen. I have the chat up and I have, you don't see the pictures on my screen, right?
No,
No.
Do you see the chat up down in the bottom right-hand corner?
no.
No.
Okay.
Everybody can open up their chat though, right?
Yes, so everyone that's in, if you can find the chat feature, that's kind of where you guys can ask questions and we'll be hopefully able to answer them or be able to get back to you with the answers to them. Mr. Callahan should definitely be on the call, and possibly Mr. Bader.
Getting hit from both directions. I gotta do something. So I yell for cover and I run forward as fast as
Got it. Yeah, Danielle, I sent that other thing to Chris. He said it looks good. He just needs to get everyone else to look at it.
the,
The agreement form or whatever you want to call that.
I was gonna post it on the site, but I wasn't sure until we got the okay.
Yeah, no, not until we gotta get the okay first.
No problem.
I've been so busy today.
All good.
Did you meet with you Google Meet or Zoom with the students today, Jackie?
I did 3 classes of writing conferences on Zoom, and we had a Zoom faculty meeting. So I've been very
Wow.
busy since like 8:30.
Look at Miss Trooper knowing how to do that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, Kyle, I see it's recording in the top left-hand corner too. Good call.
Yep. So we can post that to the website also.
The recording feature doesn't work on my Zoom.
No?
No, I don't get the option to record even if I'm the host. It must be something wrong with their site.
Are you on your Chromebook?
Uh-huh.
Okay. What was that fancy noise?
That was mine, sorry.
Hi, Mary.
I knew it was you, Mary.
Maddie, Jackie knows that noise.
Yep.
You got one too, didn't you?
Marco.
Hello.
All right.
Kyle, Chris said he would be here at 2.
Yes.
I made a Cami screencastify today.
Good. Get added to the website.
Yeah, we should make a Cami page.
I mean, the only issue with the Cami page is not all the students have it downloaded.
And to do that now.
Yeah, I mean, I asked them to do it, but not all of them like were able to. So,
I'm pretty sure you can send them the link though, right to the app, right? And all they have to do is click, or the extension, all they have to do is click on it. So that might be something you can do. Just post it in the Google Classroom. I think I have directions on. Did we make directions on the camera?
Yep.
See if we can share that.
Yeah, I mean, I put Cammy on my son's computer, and that's how he's been
Yeah, Lainey too.
how he's been submitting all his math work, and his teacher didn't know that was possible. So all right, so we have 53 people as of now.
Awesome.
55.
Oh.
Oh, no. Raising your hand, Jackie.
Hi, Danielle. Can you hear me?
Yes, Kuntal, we're gonna mute you.
Hi, Kyle. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
I can't see myself. I just see my name. That's okay.
That's perfect.
Kuntal,
All
we're
right.
gonna mute you, okay?
What?
We're gonna probably mute you, okay? No hard feelings.
I already did.
Thank you. I love her.
Chris is saying he's having trouble getting on.
Yeah.
One more computer. I don't know. That's the meeting ID at the top, the 973 number, correct?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, everyone. We're just waiting. Chris Callahan's trying to get on. He's having some issues with it. Right now, we have everyone muted just because if there is, right now we have 78 people on here. And if we all try and talk, that would get pretty crazy. So if you can open up the chat feature, depending on what device it is, it's probably a little bit different. I'm on my MacBook, and at the top I have a bunch of different features, and if I click more, then I can see it says chat.
If you're on a Chromebook, it's down at the bottom next to share, and it just looks like a speech bubble. please open that up, and it should open to your right, and leave that open.
This is going to be a place that you can ask questions. It's going to be a big part of how we help you in the future know what you all need, and also discussion. This is going to be more of an open forum so that you can all share things that you've been doing that has been working, so we can get ideas from each other and then know how we can help you for in the future as well. So this is going to be a big part of our Zoom meeting today.
Chris, can you hear me?
I can. Hello. Sorry about that. Had a little computer trouble, if you can believe that.
Okay, so we'll keep that there. So we have a little PowerPoint in the background to kind of help I guess, let's say, guide us on where we want to go today. The four of us here, they're going to be the main four talking. Again, any questions, please put them in the chat section so that we can go over. These are limited to an hour. So if for some reason we do not get to your question, it does send us a copy of the chat, and we will definitely be able to get back to you as soon as this is done.
We're also working on a Google site for the teachers that is a one-stop shop for probably some things that you would like a quick link to. So stay tuned for that as well.
We'll most likely be sharing that through social media, and it will come out as an email as well. So we'll get that to you as soon as possible after our meeting today.
You can also see it right here on the website. Right here is the link. Everything needs to be lowercase like it is on the screen now. And we just started working on that. When we started, Danielle, Saturday. So it is a work in progress, but it does have a lot of things on there already.
It's a great work in progress, if I could interject. It's really looking good.
And actually, here's what it looks like.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different things on here. We're trying to get to as many things as possible. If you guys have any other ideas of things that need to be added to it, you can always email any of the three of us.
Kyle, let me interject really quick. The first link that's called WTSD Distance Learning Links, that was basically just going through emails that were forwarded from my principal about all different resources that are available for me. Like for us, we needed it all in one place. So instead of going through all your emails, you can just go right to that first link, and that will bring you to all the resources that you need that were sent to us. And then yeah, so then the left page is all the emails linked with the resources, and the right page is something that was sent from administration. I believe it was Joanne Gill, so that was put in there as well. It was sent as an email too, so it's all like in one place for you, which will be great. And then the rest, more specifically elementary, the rest is grades 3, 4, and 5, so that won't necessarily pertain to pre-K through 2 for our digital correlation guides. And then the page after that is a page of practice book pages for 3 through 5. So this is going to most likely be more what you need. And then all pages after that are specific the specific resources that you can use. So if you need help with Google Classroom, up on the top left, you can click on the 3 lines, and you can choose Google Classroom if you need help with that, Flipgrid, BrainPop, iExcel, so all of that's there for you as well.
Okay. So again, the chat feature. Chris, you kind of want to talk about this? Kind of what it's coming down kind of from the top?
Sure. We had, I think the principals all had meetings at all levels on Friday. And discussion on the amount of work or the hours of work. Dr. Zager was talking about the feedback, and honestly, 99.9% of the feedback was, positive. There was maybe just a little bit about, maybe having too much work. So certainly want to stress quality over quantity. And I think your principals have gotten in touch with you on certain levels, right? About 1 to 2 hours for K to 2, 3 to 4 hours for 3 to 5. So I think, you know, if we're dealing with the elementary, I think that would be enough per day, per student. Keep that in mind. We don't have to, you know, they're in certain situations, some students, we don't know their situations. You know, we're all educators, and some of you that have kids, I have kids. You know, I get to my kids at the end of the day if I can. You know, some people might not have that luxury where they're even educators at all, so they're getting home, or they're first respondents and they're getting home at, you know, 6 o'clock at night or 7 o'clock at night, and then trying to help their kids out. So, you know, just be cognizant of that. And quality over quantity is certainly what the district as a whole is stressing. As always, I always say, if you have a question, you can certainly email your principal, you can email your supervisor, you can email me. We will certainly, yeah, I think that was the one question you said, Michelle Plummer, right? That's what I heard. 1 to 2 hours for
Can you go to
K to 2. And then, but again, depending on your principal, I don't want to say, but I heard that from Dr. Zega. So, you know, that was made clear to all the principals. There you go, right there. No more than 3, then that's, you know, those are fine. You know, those, I don't want to get, you know, the other thing, I think the other feedback was phys ed, which may or may not be on this call. The one, you know, thing was like, try not to give real writing assignments in phys ed. I think the students are doing reading and writing and math and in language arts, but now, you know, they go to phys ed, instead of doing some physical activity, they're reading and writing again, you know. So just try to, you know, the phys ed teachers, if there's any on here, try to, you know, give them real activities. You know, have them go outside, have them doing jumping jacks. You know, if you want to keep an activity journal, that's fine too. You know, you can certainly, that's what my daughter is doing. She's got her activity journal for the week and she fills it out, you know, and she's doing different exercises every day. And there's videos on those exercises if need be. Did I answer it for you, Kyle, there? I know I talked.
Sounds good. Perfect.
Chris, did we get any feedback about preschool hour-wise?
Again, less is better. Quality is, you know, over quantity. You know, certainly, you know, those children, they're really not even the ones responding. It's going to be the parents that are responding. And some of them have not, you know, they're very, you know, hopefully it's, whether it's through Remind app or however you want, if they want Google Classroom, it is available. As low as the lowest level would be pre-K. We have Google IDs available for them. You can talk to your principal about getting it from Joe Masparri, or your liaisons getting that list from Joe Masparri. But if there's a student in Genesis, there is a Google ID created. Of course, before all this, we never really used Google Classroom, but there may be a need, or there may be a class or a school that may want it. They would certainly reach out to, the principal would reach out to Joe Masparri or myself for that.
Thank you.
Hey, Chris, this is John Bader.
What's up, Mr. Bader?
I just wanted to thank everybody. First and foremost, our tech people who stepped up under your leadership, Danielle, Jackie, and Kyle, for putting together something really nice to help the teachers. And teachers, you are doing an amazing job. You are doing the unthinkable, the unimaginable, and I want to thank you. As a parent, as an administrator, we're very proud of your efforts. Keep up the good work. Remember to try to get your time to relax. I hope that this helps make life easier for you guys, and enjoy the rest of the session. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Mr. Bader.
Mr. Bader, now that you're on, can you just verify those times again for the K to 2 and 3 to 5 for the hours of work?
Dr. Zeget
Right.
laid out, generally speaking, that there would be no more than in between 2 and 3 hours for K1 and 2 per day, and no more than 4 hours for the 3 through 5. And that includes any videos the kids watch, any work you have them do, because we're just trying to, you know, as everything evolves and gets more difficult, people are getting, you know, families being put under more stress. So keep it simple, keep it organized, and we'll move forward together. But hopefully that will alleviate some stress for our teachers too.
Okay, good. And one of the things that a lot of people talked about was to get into the kind of a weekly routine. Like I saw a lot of principals tweeting about like Flex Friday. If you did it in your classroom, keep it going. Definitely some of the kindergarten teachers were doing centers on Friday. So Valerie Powers tweeting about that. So if you do it in your classroom, try to keep doing it. Try to keep that same routine now as much as possible. Obviously, it's very different, but try to keep it the same as much as possible.
Mr. Bader also brought up like every Monday, do this. Every Tuesday is this. Every Wednesday and so on, just so as this goes on, the children know what to expect on their Monday morning. They know what to expect each day of the week specifically.
And that helps build routine and expectations for the parents too. So the parents will know what to expect throughout the week, which I think will help in the long run as well.
Okay. We have anything else that we need to talk about here? Okay.
Yeah, the weekly routine. I don't know if you, I mean, it's already been a week, but it's one of the good routines is for yourself. It's just get out of bed and change. Whether it be you can change into another set of pajamas, but going through the physical act of changing, there's got to be a morning routine, for yourself as well. So not only the student, the teachers need to as well.
All right, sounds good. Again, here's our website. I saw Danielle put it on the chat already. You can click. It is linked right in the chat. We'll open it up for you. Again,
sorry, Kyle, go ahead.
no, I'm just saying, again, we are still working on it. I mean, there is a lot of good stuff on there already, but it is still a little bit of a work in progress.
Right. If you have a suggestion, let us know. I will email this out after the phone call tonight. I will email this link out again. I'll do a reply all to my earlier one and send this out, as well as I'll be sending out each of these are being recorded, right, Mr. Reed? So I'll also send out links for the recordings as well.
I see that it says, how can ASI or LLI help the students? I think one thing that's important is to remember that Google Classroom, if you're using it on your level, or many websites have collaborator and collaborator options. So I would definitely talk to your teacher that you work with and see if any of the technology mediums that they're using, if there's a way for you to collaborate with them. And that would be a great way for you to keep up with what they're doing, just like you lesson pal each other in Genesis. A lot of websites have that option too now. So I would make sure that you're a collaborator on any of the technology mediums that your teacher's using, so that you'll be able to see and keep up with what they're doing as well.
Our ASI and LLI were added as co-teachers on Google Classroom. So every morning I post a good morning, and so does ASI. And she just generally says, if you need anything today, I'm here. And some of the kids, instead of posting to me, will post to her. And she also gets on my writing conferences that I've been doing on Zoom. And so you need to add them as a co-teacher to your class in Google Classroom.
Great. So obviously now we need new ways to communicate with the students. If you've not heard of Flipgrid, Flipgrid is amazing. I know for my classes this week, I sent out a Flipgrid, kind of how the students are feeling about how it's working now. What are they still having issues with? My son's teacher does a morning routine every day with them. The first day my son opened it and saw his teacher, he got a huge smile. He's waving to her, even though it's on a video chat, but it's, just seeing that excitement of seeing his teacher again. He thought it was great.
I think there's a lot of pluses for Flipgrid. It's a quick single sign-on for a lot of the students. It's very easy setup on your end. We have a Flipgrid page on the website for you to use if needed. They are very, very active on Twitter and social media. If you have any questions, I would start searching them and following them on Twitter. It can be used for so many things. I've used it personally as in the beginning of every week, I create a short video, which they call it, which is something that's not tied to an assignment. And just so my kids can see my face, I record myself telling them what is going to be expected this week, anything new and different I'm switching up. And then I take that link and I send it in Remind to the parents. So that the parents are seeing me, the parents hear what I have to say, and then I ask that they share that with the students. So I know a lot of you on pre-K to 2 might be using the Remind app as well as one of your parent communication mediums, but I'm sure that there are many other ones where all you need to do is take the link of your video on Flipgrid. You don't have to worry about Screencastify or YouTube or anything like that, and you would just put it in whatever parent communication app you have. Then the parents are able to see you and the students are able to see you too, which is really nice. Students have used it for fun activities on Friday, like an outdoor scavenger hunt and showing me what they find. Students also have, after I taught my math lesson, and they would go and they would show me how they did a problem on a whiteboard piece of paper, and it can be used for assessment as well. So really the possibilities are endless, and it allows the students to verbally give responses and help with that side of things as well. So, and as Bianca just said, you can also add co-pilots to your Flipgrid. So again, if you have a co-teacher in the classroom, or if you're special ed, or if you have ESL, you can have other teachers on this Flipgrid with you so that they can also potentially get grades too. And yes, your Flipgrid, Michelle, your Flipgrid topics, if there anything you create as an assignment on Flipgrid, the second you click create, it gives you the link and it allows you to share it across a couple different resources. One of them is just copying the link. So I would copy the link and you can put it in your Google Classroom or put it on whatever other resource you're using with your children.
Yeah, when I did it last night, as soon as I created it,
Oh, thank you, Kyle. There you go.
it will, you have the option right here to send it right to your Google Classroom. You can send it right to your Remind, or just copy the link that's right
If
here.
you're using something different, then you just click copy and then you paste it from the cloud into whatever you're using. It's a great, great, great resource, especially for the younger kids too. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward.
I will put, my son's teacher put step-by-step directions on how to log in. So I will add that to the bottom of this after we get on the, after we get off this also.
And thank you for those of you, the ASI teachers and the LLI teachers that are answering in the chat. That's super helpful. Please keep sharing. If someone asks a question and you have an answer, please let them know how you all are working and collaborating. That's super helpful. Thank you.
Okay. Again, here's some of the more of the Flipgrid things that we talked about.
I want to answer Valerie's question. I would recommend, if you want to change, yes, but don't, if you're comfortable, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So, you know, whatever you're comfortable using is fine. You know, and you don't have to try, you know, we're going to show you 12 different things. Please do not try to implement 12 different things tomorrow. You know, you want to try a little steps at a time, you know, whatever you're comfortable with. Don't, you know, if you want to switch. If you want to stay with Dojo and it's working fine for you, then, you know, stay with Dojo for now. You know, you certainly, we may be doing this for a long time. So maybe, you know, if April hits or May hits, and then you're thinking about, oh, you know, maybe there is something different I can, you know, and then it'll come back and you can go to the website and you'll be able to click it again and see. So I'm sorry for interrupting, but go ahead.
No problem.
If you haven't,
Go ahead,
sorry,
Jen.
Danielle.
Go
If
ahead.
you haven't seen your kids yet, what Danielle was saying, by just making a short and sending it on Remind, just so they see you and hear from you. It doesn't have to be a lesson. It could just be a quick check-in or something silly. It just might be nice if they have not heard from you yet. It might be more simple than, let's say, setting up a Zoom meeting with your class of 22 kindergartners. Maybe just a quick Flipgrid every couple days would be sufficient for the younger grades.
Another thing I wanted to suggest, Rebecca Gardner asked, the video responses, can we count it as their grade? Chris, I don't know if you're able to back me up. There are a couple different rubrics out there with maybe I'll think about trying to get 1 or 2 on the site where you can use their verbal responses as a grade across, correct?
Yes, yes. And I think, right now at this point, we're getting no direction from the state. So we're going to go with that. Don't worry about, we're all figuring this out as we go along. So, those things, those ideas were never thought of last year or maybe a month ago, but now they're coming into play because we're in this special environment. There's certainly, if you have a question here or in a week, if that came up as a question, you can always email me, always email your principal. We'll get you an answer.
Thank you.
A Flipgrid could be an excellent exit ticket also. And exit tickets are always able to be graded no matter what platform they're done on. So
Yeah, Bianca, if you don't mind, can you please share that rubric with us through an email? That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know why I typed that instead of saying that out loud. Oh well. The other two ones that are down here at the bottom, it's Zoom and Google Meet. They are pretty much the exact same thing. This is Zoom. I see on Twitter a lot of people are using Zoom. It's working really well for everyone. If you're using Google Meet, keep using it. Again, they're the same thing. So whatever is working best for you, whatever you feel more comfortable. And again, Zoom was trending on Twitter earlier, and I clicked on it, and one of the videos was just the kids seeing his teacher for the first time and like getting so excited and waving, and that's what they're used to. So we need to keep doing as much as we can to keep them in a routine and learning as much as possible at home.
And Chris,
I've
just
had writing, sorry, Danielle.
go.
I've had writing conferences the last 2 days with my class on Zoom. So I have 23 students, so I did like half and half. So I had made a link and I posted, numbers 1 through 11. This is your date and time. I just dropped the link to the Zoom video in Google Classroom, and they just clicked and got on. And we did a half-an-hour writing conference, and I sent them on their way. And then I did the other half of the children today, the next day. And besides some like tiny audio issues, I think because the whole world is using Zoom right now, it really was so great. And they loved seeing each other and hearing each other. They were helping each other. It was great. So I definitely suggest it. I mean, it's working very well for us right now, as you can see. And we were using the chat section just as we are now. So all of the kids could be responding to each other there as well. And it's recordable.
That's great, Jackie. And then also just to let people know, we have a Zoom and Google Meets page on the website. We've been working closely with Chris to figure out our guidelines as a district when using it. So we'll post that once we get that squared away so that everyone's on the same page about, what to think about when using these different types of resources with your students too.
I will give you the only drawback with Zoom and Google Classroom is Zoom can be, you can give the link to somebody outside of a Woodbridge Township school district technically. It could be shared with somebody. So, but Google Classroom can only be used by the Woodbridge Township staff and students. So just, the people have to be careful. As long as like this Zoom link that we've shared is all people on here, we just want to be careful that when we use Zoom links that they don't get out to the public and then somebody from outside could, hack in and not even hack in beyond something, and then they could post some inappropriate content. I mean, it's just something to be aware of. That's all. It's something that's out there on the news, and that's why I want to make sure I address it.
And the only good thing, if that's scaring you, is the host of it.
Yes.
Can go through. So like when a lot of you join, somehow some of you have your camera on, which I thought in the settings, you have that option to turn it off, which is completely fine. But you can also mute everyone as they come in.
Yep.
Same thing. A lot of people were unmuted when they came in, but it's a very quick, easy button just to click, and you can mute them or unmute them if you need to also.
Also, I wanted to address Kathy in the chat. She asked if the preschool they're meeting individually would sending short videos from Flipgrid be most friendly. I don't know, back me up, guys. I would think that that wouldn't be what you would want. If you're meeting with the children live, Flipgrid isn't necessarily that. Flipgrid is you recording yourself, sending that video. The students watch the video, and then they send a video back to you. So it's not a live meeting. I mean, if that's something that you'd rather, is that each of you can do it in your own time, then I would suggest that. If not, then I would continue using Zoom or Meet to meet with your students, and just make sure that a parent or guardian is there with them as well. So
And with Flipgrid, people, when something is posted, people can send a video to a video.
that's probably what it is.
People
Yeah.
can comment on each other's videos. And again, using my son, for example, my son, when his teacher does the morning meetings, he responds to almost every single person in his class just to say hi, just to keep in touch, I guess, for him with everyone. But again, that's what he wants to do, and gives me a couple more minutes to get some work done. It's perfectly fine.
Here.
Oh, thank you, Danielle, for adding that. So the dojo does have the portfolio section, which is really good. There's a lot of teachers that run like a whole class from dojo or seesaw. All of them have been really good in how they've kind of stepped up, where you can send videos and you can send
Maybe
pictures and a lot of different things with those.
I see a lot of Class Dojo and Seesaw. Maybe we should add a page of that for our younger staff, of just resources and things like that.
I have it on my list. Yes, I'm using a pencil for the first time in a very long time. He'd be proud of me.
So we'll work toward that too. I see a lot of you use Seesaw and Dojo, so maybe we weren't really aware of that, since I teach third Jackie's higher level and Kyle's computers. So we'll look toward adding a new page for you that will include Class Dojo and Seesaw, just to have more resources as well.
Allison, I'm not sure about Flipgrid and Seesaw, how similar they are. I don't know if Seesaw has the video. I don't know about that. We can look into it. Danielle, do you know about Seesaw and Flipgrid being similar?
I haven't personally used it. I know that Seesaw is definitely more of a portfolio for students. So it will, parents or teachers can upload work, and then it stays with the student as they progress. Flipgrid is, I would say, more assignment-based, where you give them an assignment, they answer your assignment. So I wouldn't necessarily say Flipgrid is anything portfolio-based like Seesaw, but I've never personally used Seesaw. So, and Val Powers, if you have that email, can you forward that to us so that we can possibly add that to the Class Dojo and Seesaw page? That would be awesome. Thank you.
Okay, the next thing, we have successes on here. What are things that have worked for you this past, well, I guess we're on our 6th day now. So like, if you could write in the comments things that have been going well for you.
I'm pretty sure we get a transcript of these comments, so we'll also attempt to post that on the site. So don't feel like you have to keep up with all the messages right now, but please take the time to send us right now what your successes were, so that we can have a running log of it, and we'll be able to post that for you later so that you can go back through as we continue to update the site.
Yes, we're going to post the whole video on the website and all of the chats so that everyone can see it. If you have any colleagues that couldn't make the call, we're doing another one at 7 o'clock tonight, but also they can go back and watch this. I don't want to watch it and hear my voice again, but you can always go back and watch it.
Yes, Google Classroom is much easier than just using Remind only. I feel like if you're only using Remind at this point, or only using Class Dojo at this point, I know Class Dojo just added a feature in the class story where you could video. But I really suggest trying to add something so your kids can see you in some way, shape, or form, rather than just communicating digitally in Google Classroom.
Chris, there's a pretty good question from Jessica. It asks what the guidelines are for using these video sources if a child's photo or video on Genesis says it can't be published. That's probably a pretty good one. Would they just have to maybe potentially get a typed response to something instead? Like, how are we addressing that?
Well, I mean, again, that's for video being public. I mean, if it's still in the classroom, explain to the parents that it would only be the other students, it wouldn't be made public. But if they still don't want it, you can, as a host here on, I know in Google Meets and in Zoom, you could certainly shut the video off. They could choose to shut it off, and as a host, you could shut off the video if it need be. But again, it's not being shared out publicly. It is within the classroom.
That's true.
If you do explain it to the parents, and they're still adamant on it, have them shut off the video then, and then you could have alternate means of submitting assignments if need be.
Thank you.
Someone just wrote about Nearpod. Nearpod is awesome.
Yes.
If you have access to it, if you don't, reach out to me and we'll figure out a way. There are many already made lessons on there for you that you can edit, or you can just use them as they are. And it's kind of, if you're in the classroom with them, it's really neat. When you change a slide, it changes the slide for the students on their iPad, Chromebook, whatever you're using. But since they're at home right now, there is a student pace section or student paced way to do it so that they can go through it on their own time. And there's a lot of really neat things on there, like 3D or virtual
reality
trips, just lots and lots of lessons.
Jen, that's pretty cool. I see Jen Boss wrote that First in Math added a messaging feature now, which I didn't know about. I know that potentially all schools might use different math platforms. My school personally uses First in Math, so thank you for sharing that. That's pretty cool that students can also connect with us through that. I've been sending them Flipgrid shorts to give them updates on their First in Math successes. We've been doing March Madness this month, so that's how they kind of know who's been working with the competition. But that's pretty cool just to help encourage students to keep working by messaging them right in the site, so that's awesome.
I know one we didn't speak about, but I know Courtney's not here. I did see her, and I know she created an awesome video she tweeted this morning. If somebody's interested in just creating a YouTube channel, a private YouTube channel, and creating it maybe with just your phone or your iPad, and then sending it up to YouTube, your kids could just go back to that YouTube channel every day. It doesn't change. Your YouTube channel is the same. They just list multiple videos. You can access those videos. I know Mrs. Bader, I think I saw her on here as well. She's doing that, and Courtney has a nice video on how to do that. That's also an option for some people if they would like that as well. Again, students have one link. They don't have to keep messing around with other links. They just go to that same link every day, go to the YouTube channel every day, and they can see the new videos being posted.
Yeah, that's one thing that I actually just did. I created a playlist on YouTube for reading, a playlist for vocabulary, a playlist for what's it called, grammar. And what I do is I've been videoing myself with the vocabulary words, and then I post it for the lesson, and then I'll post my grammar lesson in that video, and then I've been reading them the journey story and posting that video in my reading YouTube playlist, and then I give them the direct links in my assignments each day. And today was really just like an introduction day to lesson 14, and they just watched my video introducing the vocabulary. They watched my video reading the story aloud to them. They watched my video. So it was like their introduction to all the new skills. It has been amazing. I mean, I get the YouTube analytics. I know how long they've watched for. I know how many students have viewed it. And I feel like that's a big way to get direct instruction to the students. So that's how I'm directly instructing. And then the rest of the week, it's IXL, it's vocabulary, it's Brain Pop, it's other resources that we've been sharing with you as a way to assess their learning. So the direct instruction really happens in the beginning of the week. And then the other resources are what are used towards the end of the week. So
Courtney just posted that link on there as well. There was another question. I think Michelle Palmer said, which one do you recommend? And Michelle, I'm going to give you the answer I give anybody that has more than one child. I love you both the same. I love them all the same. So really, whatever is convenient for you to use, and whichever one you feel comfortable with is probably the best way to say it. And I have one of my children here next to me. So I have to make sure there's no favorites. I love them all the same.
Yeah, I like what Raven also said. I was a little nervous about the privacy of, my videos being public. So what I recently did was I created them as unlisted. So they weren't necessarily listed in YouTube, but then when I give the link to my students, now they have access to it, but it's not out there for all the YouTube world. So that's something to think about when you're thinking about the privacy of, your videos and what you're doing as well.
And I know a lot of kindergarten teachers are reading stories to their students. I think that's awesome. I have been actually playing them for my kids too. So please keep doing that. My kids are really excited to hear you guys read.
We also have a whole section about this on the website as well that we've shared with you. So we have a YouTube Screencastify is a whole nother level of I've been able to pull up my practice book pages and write on them and do them so that the kids can watch at home. So that's a whole nother level of things. All of those videos are also on the website too if you're interested in how to do what we've been talking about.
All right, what else do you think? We're good there. Again, we will post all this stuff so that you can see it. What do we still need help with? What are we struggling with? What do we need help with?
We'll do our best to kind of work through what you're saying here, but we'll also look at this later and attempt to answer all your questions in the future too. So.
You can ask by chat or by chiming in, whatever you feel more comfortable with.
Mm-hmm.
I know one thing that I've seen on Twitter or talking to people is a lot of the students are having, not trouble, but just aren't really reading the directions well. So maybe that's one thing we need to make sure that we're posting about them following, make sure we're reading the directions, things that we would definitely state over and over again in our classroom. Just, maybe write it again in Google Classroom or the different things like that, just to make sure that they're reading it.
I see your report card question. I had a faculty meeting today and we touched on the fact that for marking period 3, we probably have enough grades, but as a district, we don't know what we're doing for marking period 4 yet.
That is correct.
I think everything is going to be.
I think at this point, right, that's all we have for now, and we'll get direction and guidance from the administrators and your principals for marking period 4. You did it correctly, Jackie.
To touch on Kyle's not following directions, I see somebody else in the chat comments posted that. I don't know if you're familiar with Screencastify. It's a Chrome extension you can add to your browser. There's also a section on our site about it. My students have a very hard time following directions. We have a ton of 504s. And I've been making a Screencastify, looking at the assignment from my point of view and working through it so that they hear me discuss it, they see what it looks like when they'll open it and do it, and then they do it. It takes me 3 minutes to quick make one. I usually put it on a YouTube channel, and then it makes a quick link. It uploads to YouTube very, very fast. I also made for the parents a how to check what assignments your child has on Google Classroom. Kyle, I think you put that in Google Classroom resources. Can you click on that?
Your video, you want me to play it, Jackie?
No, I don't want you to play it. No. Yeah, it's there. it's just me talking and working through what they should see. But the good thing about that is they could pause it, they could rewind it, go back to it, replay it, because it's not live. And so I leave those things in my Google Classroom stream so that they could reference back to it. I've made them for parents, I've made them for the students. It's very simple to use. I also see about grading, do we mind that the younger grades are getting help? I think all the kids are getting help. I think that was always an issue with grading homework, and now essentially everything they're doing, you know, is at home. I mean, like Chris said, I don't think we know what to expect for marking period 4, but me personally, I am not grading everything. I'm really just working on like what skills are secure that I know they probably did on their own mostly. Because if I know something is a little more difficult, they're going to ask somebody to help them. And from a parent's perspective, I'm going to help my child when they ask. And so I think sticking to secure skills and grading those things only should be sufficient, especially for the next marking period.
I know that student Mikhail is asking, what are we doing with students that aren't doing anything? I can only speak for what our school is personally doing right now. I know today I made my first phone call using *67 on my cell phone to contact a parent about that. So that was helpful. So I would say teachers the first line of defense, contacting parents, whether it's through email or phone. And then another thing is our guidance counselor reached out to us, and she told us that she would be willing if a big number of assignments are not coming back and you're starting to see it as a potential issue. We have been contacting her, and she has been reaching out to the students or the parents specifically as well. So again, I can't speak for everyone, but I know that that's something that we've been doing. Another thing that I've done is I've created a Google Doc for missing assignments. So I keep track of all the assignments that I will be planning on putting in Genesis in the future. And I actually just posted that to my Google Classroom today, and I allowed everyone, students only, to just look at it. So maybe you might have an option like that in Seesaw, Class Dojo, where you could create a document that updates real time, and it allows parents and students both to go into the document, know what's expected, and then I put the student's number next to the things that the assignments that are still due to me. So that's the way that I've kind of been combating, and like the couple of different hierarchies of what to do if students might not be handing in their work.
So somebody just asked about Google Voice. If you go to Google Voice, just in Chrome, and you put your cell phone number in, it assigns you like a ridiculous phone number that's not a real area code, which becomes like your new phone number, so to speak. And you can link it to, I think you can link it to Chrome to speak, but it links to your cell phone also. That way they're not, like, they're sort of calling you, but not really. And you could add, quiet hours versus business hours on that as well. And then you don't need to do *67.
Oh, good.
Dial through Google Voice. Everything is through the Google Voice phone number from the parent's point of view. It shows up on their caller ID, and when they call that number back, it links it to your phone, or I think somebody has it to their house line. And the parents have, you're talking to them as you would on your cell phone or house phone, except the parents are dialing a different number.
So I learned something from you too. Cool. I like that.
And Kyle said he's going to put that on the site, right, Kyle?
Yep. I have a list of many things we're adding to the website.
Google Voice is very simple and discreet.
Love it.
It even has a voicemail on it too.
Yeah, it does.
Is that it? We have an hour limit, so we're almost there.
Michelle, please reach out to me with the things that you're overwhelmed with.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, here's the 3 of our email addresses. If you need help with anything, please reach out.
Also, if you have things that you think could help the district as well, like we'll be more than happy to take whatever work with whatever you have and put that on the site too. So helping us to build the resources would be great.
Laura Calabrese, I agree. That question you have, Michelle, we know we're all there to help you. We've got the team here, we've got the supervisors, we've got your principals, we've got your colleagues. We're all in this together. So, we do know. Guided reading levels for report cards. All right. Caitlin, I guess we'll get back to you on that one too. I think, right? Yeah. Any other questions on the chat? We'll try to answer them.
Oh, use Spelling City for your spelling test.
Yes, it's free now.
Yeah, these publishers, all these companies have been great, giving a lot of things to educators for free, and they've really helped. So, like you said, there's so many out there. We don't know them all. Like First in Math is adding new features that we didn't even know about. They're happening every day.
Kahoot's also another good one for assessments.
Fun platform.
Yeah, very fun, very interactive for the students.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you all. Again, keep up the job you're doing. I would like to say we could see the end in sight, but it's looking like at least, May into June right now. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news. But thank you.
All right, thank you, everyone.
Thank
Thank
you.
Have a good
you.
afternoon.
Don't forget to give yourself an hour of PD.
Oh, Jackie.
In your portal.
That's so awesome. I love that.
I'm serious.
You see how it's saved?
Yeah, I think that's
Oh, perfect.
not pretty, but at least we have
Ugh.
Timestamp. Nice.
awesome.
Hi, Laura.
Hi.
How did you
Sorry,
get
I was late.
Okay. Yeah, the more virtual PDs. I'm glad you said that at the end, Laura.
Yeah, we're going to be doing more streamlined ones that the supervisors are going to lead. So I'll be doing a K-2 group and then a 3 to 5 group. And it's basically going to be like a little bit of me going over, whatever I'm getting mass emailed about, and then the Q&A. So if anybody has specific questions, they can email it to me ahead of time and I can jumpstart and I'll discuss them when we do that. But we're working on a schedule for that as well.
Okay. I think when the younger teachers see these also, they're going to really want them. And I know, who knows about Journeys, but I think these are going to be very, very popular.
Yes.
Those that haven't seen them yet.
Yeah, I already had somebody else in grade 2 ask. So
Hey, Laura.
as long as we keep our curriculum, we'll see. But yeah, we definitely need, this will definitely be handy for them. And I think we're doing like another kind of streamlined document also. I keep using that word, but it's like the only way to kind of attack this. We're doing another document where we're going to have like our district accounts listed and then just like a little blurb as to how to access that, because as we're getting more and more resources, it's just getting very cumbersome to keep track of everything. But
That'll be very good. I'm sure half the people don't know what we have.
yeah, and I think that the main thing too is I know everybody is feeling so overwhelmed and wanting to use everything at once. So at least in the beginning, if we just stick with what we know, and then teachers can try to incorporate one new thing maybe every week, if they're comfortable with it, to kind of supplement, and then just take the workload off of the parents a little bit. I was in like a grade level meeting with a school just before this, and I was saying how like that's why the YouTube videos are so helpful, because the parents can do it when they're available to help the kids, or a lot of the cases where there's one device and multiple students at home, it's really difficult to get everybody online at the same time. So if with the YouTube channel, at least it's accessible kind of whenever, so they can go back, they can use it to reteach or go over something, especially in the younger grades, because we're so systematic in how we teach a lot. The parents don't know that at all. They're not familiar with it. So that's been helpful with just getting the kids to like have that consistency of the classroom, and not so much like the parents are like, what am I doing? I don't know how to tap out a word. So the teachers who are doing that are getting some positive feedback from the parents saying like, you've taken a lot off our shoulders type of thing. So that's been helpful also. It's a lot.
Yeah.
But I think bits and pieces, and just not overwhelming ourselves will help everybody feel a little bit more comfortable. So, all right.
All right.
Signing off. I'll see everybody next time.
See you
Take
later.
care.
So Jackie and Danielle, I have to add to the website Dojo, Seesaw, Google Voice, Raz Kids, and kind of the directions on how to set up, I guess, not set up Flipgrid, but how do you like, once you set it up, how to like send out the directions.
There was a good, is that posted there? I could have sworn that was there.
I thought it was there too.
They posted, because they're part of like a grid guide messaging thing on Twitter, and they posted like all the at-home learning things, and that's what is posted here. The 2 links there.
Yeah.
That would be
Which,
Do you want me to work on Google Voice and something else?
yeah, I didn't know about that. That's really awesome.
Why are you putting Raz Kids on there? You think people need that?
I don't know. Someone talked about it.
I mean, it is through the district, so I feel like if it's through the district, we should have something on it. Like I added one of Ali.
Okay.
Someone said, so I just wrote it down, and
I would put that under the elementary tab, because that's not necessarily for the older.
yeah, the Google Voice one can go for everyone. The Raz Kids Elementary, I would think Seesaw and Dojo Elementary, are they used by older kids?
Jackie, have you ever used Seesaw or Class Dojo? I haven't.
I use Class Dojo. I don't even know what Seesaw is.
Seesaw is very similar.
Yeah,
but
I don't know what it. I don't know what it is. I never even heard of it.
Take that.
Different name, for the most part.
I feel like we could put those both on the same page, Class Dojo and Seesaw.
Yeah. Trying to see if I have. Okay.
I forget what I'm working on. What am I working on again? Google Voice?
Yes.
And where am I putting it?
That should be for everyone. So
So
down.
I'm making it in 3 different places?
No. If
Make it a whole page.
look at your screen, or my screen. So down here with Flipgrid and Nearpod and Zoom and all those things.
Yeah.
Screen isn't
Make a
good.
new,
Our screen is on Flipgrid.
just make a new page.
It's on Flipgrid. Yeah, but I mean, I'll show you that.
Oh, I.
Right. Am I making a new page? I said.
Yeah, I think Google Voice can go for everyone, so that I would put it as one of the pages app that are linked for everyone.
There you go.
Kyle, can you also make a Class Dojo Seesaw page?
Is that for everyone or just
I don't
elementary?
know.
I don't think that should be for everyone. I mean, I use it, but I wouldn't use it in like middle school.
Am I doing one page for both of them?
Yeah, I feel like, and then we'll separate it.
It's all spelled that way, correct?
They have a teacher resource section.
That's perfect. I usually try to see if they have some type of guide and I post that like directly, and then I try to see if there's like a good YouTube. I feel like sometimes that's enough, you know.
But
I did
here,
have
wait a minute. Wait,
I-
Kyle.
great videos too. So that page came out good.
Kyle, I just sent you a PDF.
Of what?
Class Dojo, you can have it all
Okay.
and what to do. It's for a new teacher guide.
Kyle, are you able to stop
Right.
recording? Kyle, are you able to stop recording? Because all this is going to be on the video now too.
Oh, yeah. All right, I'm just gonna end it, and Chris is calling me, so
Okay.
Do you see what I sent you?
not yet.